Hello everybody, it's me Saroj Parajuli from Improvise Learning Academy from Putalisadak. From now on, I am going to start a grammar masterclass to each and every student from my academy, and also for those students who are struggling financially for grammar tuition classes. So guys, what I will be teaching over here is all about tenses, complex sentences, sentence formation, and how we will be using our grammar in our speaking, in our language, in writing form, reading, and also in listening as well. So get connected to my channel, watch each and every video. So get connected for watch full 30-day sessions. So I wish you best of luck and take most out of it from my channel named as Improvise Learning Academy. If you search it, you will see thumbnail in my background as well. So guys, let's get connected. Come on, day one has already been started. So join my channel, like and subscribe. Hello everybody. Today I am going to show you how a sentence will be built and what are the type of the sentences. For example, compound sentences, simple sentences, and complex sentences. Okay, I'm going to show you about the difference between a complex and compound sentences today. And let's have a look. At first, we need to understand the subject and the predicate. Now, what is a subject and what is a predicate? In a complete sentence, we can see that it always includes subject, verb, and object. The remaining things after subject is known as a predicate. This all things is known as a predicate. Okay, understanding. Now let's understand what is subject first. Subject is known as two main parts of a sentence containing a subject, noun, or a pronoun. For example, a person, place, or thing, often accompanied by modifiers. Okay, therefore the noun or pronoun is who or what the sentence is about. Okay, subject always plays a major role in a sentences, and understanding a subject, verb, and objects will make you very simple to understand complex sentences, compound sentences, and we all know about simple sentences, but also we need to see to understand what is complex and compound. Okay, understanding basic sentence is the foundation, so do not skip the video. Try to listen each and everything that I will be saying today. Now come on guys, let's have a look. Now we first learned that basic sentence is made up of a noun and a verb, right? You can see that in subject also it is played by a noun, and in object also it is played by a noun. Come on, in subject also it is played by a noun and in object and in object also it is played by a noun. Come on, now she jumped. It is a very simple sentence. Okay, after our first English lesson we learned to construct more sophisticated sentences. Okay, come on. Now another example. Henry plays video games too much. Video games too much. Now try to identify guys with yourself. Okay, what might be subject over here? What is a verb over here? Now let's see. We will try to identify, and we will also segregate predicate and subject over here as well. Come on, Henry is a subject over here. Okay, what is Henry? He is a subject. Now what is he doing? What is this plays over here? Plays is a verb, because a verb is an action performed by a subject. Now what is object over here? It's video game is an object. Video games is an object. Now what are the predicates over here then? Subject, the remaining thing after subject, these are the predicates. Come on, what are predicates? These, including excluding subject, remaining factors are always known as predicate. Now let's have a look. Okay, subject, verb, object, predicate, P-R-I-D-A, predicate, C-A-T-E, sorry, I'm sorry, predicate, predicate, skate. Come on, note it down in your copy, guys. You need to note this down. If you don't understand this, you won't be able to understand simple, complex, and compound sentences, please. And what are the okay, I would like to I would like to say you something about the implications of complex sentences and compound sentences first. Okay, while reading a passage, what happens? What happens that you don't understand some sentences due to complex sentences. It is due to because those are the complex sentences that we don't understand. Sometimes compound sentences also makes us very tough to understand the passage as well. So at first you need to understand how the sentences are formed, then only you will be able to understand while reading your passages or writing something. Okay, to all get band 9 in IELTS or also in PTE as well, you need to understand complex sentences first. Okay, come on, now let's see. Where Henry is equal to subject noun and plays is verb. Yes, you can see plays is verb and video games is object noun, and this is object. Now you can also see this is noun, right? This is known as object noun and this is known as subject noun because they are both noun in this section. Now another one. Now the object of a sentence is the noun or pronoun. It's okay, no worries. Now let's understand another thing. I guess you have noted down, you understood this as well. So I'm moving to next section now. Okay, let's have a look now. Don't write. Now let's understand what are the phrases, what is the clause, and what is simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentences as well, guys. Come on, get ready. I'm going to teach you. So don't forget to note it down each and everything because we have a 30 days training session for grammar. And if you don't understand these things in right now, then it will be very tough to understand day 2, day 3. Okay, so be prepared. Come on, I'm going to start now. What is a phrase? Come on. What might be a phrase? Phrases are not a complete sentence. Okay, it can exclude subject of a sentences. As we mentioned earlier, a complete sentences should have subject, verb, and object. And if we do not have all these things, but we have a incomplete form of idea, then it is known as a phrase. Now I want to show some examples, or I will also show some examples. First, let's have a look. Cluster is a connected words. It is a connected words that do not form a complete idea or sentence. It is just a part of a sentences, but it is not a complete sentence. Now let's see what is a clause. A clause. A clause consists, okay, for phrases, we can also call them as predicate as well. Come on, predicate. Yeah, we can call it as a predicate. Now another thing, a clause consists of noun and phrase and a predicate. What is predicate? We have already understood at before these things. Now that was verb and a phrase. Okay, verb and a phrase. It can either be independent clause, that is simple sentences. We need to understand dependent and independent. I will let you know what are those things. Or it can be a dependent clause, and that relies on an independent clause to form a complete sentences. Now guys, now let's try to identify what is a dependent sentences. Okay, come on. Okay, right here, I said that they were playing football. Now, anybody, guys, can you guess that what is this? Either it's dependent or independent. Can anybody guess over here what might be these things? What might be these things? Yes, guys. What are they? What is they? What is this sentences? Either it's dependent or independent. It is dependent or independent, guys. Yes, it is dependent sentences because you can see they, and this is a pronoun, and pronoun always refers back to something. We don't know what they refers to. What does they refer? Now, if I give you another sentence, such as in this beginning, before this thing, before this thing. Now let's see. Okay, guys. Now, if I say we are, we are is okay. Wait, my class students from 10th grade loves sports. Now, try to identify now. After, if we have these two sentences in a certain passages, then what happens? This they refers to the classes from the class students from 10th grade who loves sports. And that's why this beginning sentences is an this sentences is an independent sentence because it does not get dependent on any other sentences. But if you have a look at a different at the following sentence, then what happens? They have indicated they over here, and to understand the full meaning of this passage, we need to identify who the they is over here. And in a certain passages, pronouns always comes at second, and at first always a define. It should be defined. Each and every subject should be defined, and so they should be an independent sentences, guys. Now this should be a dependent because it is dependent to a previous. It is dependent because it is dependent to a class students from 10th grade. Okay, guys, you need to understand. Now try to understand, guys. And it is the first sentence is a independent sentence because it is not dependent to anybody. Now, understanding these things will make you very easier, guys. Come on. Now let's have a look. Okay, now what is a simple sentence? A simple sentence contains a subject, noun, and phrase, and a predicate. We have already mentioned what is predicate in our first over here. You guys can see what is predicate. Verb plus object is known as a predicate. Okay, now let's see. A predicate verb, it communicates one complete idea as an independent clause. Now, guys, I've already explained you about what are dependent and what is independent sentence. A dependent sentence does not, it or is always dependent on the previous sentences. And independent sentence are not dependent with any other sentences. It gives a complete meaning. Okay, come on. Now, what is a compound sentence? A compound sentence is the logical combination of two complete thought. A two complete thought means two independent sentences or clauses. Okay, clauses or sentences can be used for similar terms as well. Can be used as a similar terms as well. So, two complete thought means two independent sentences, or let's see, two complete thought or independent clauses to form one sentences. Now let's see. Don't get confused, guys. There are two different terms over here. What are they? Let's see. Come on. One is a compound sentence and another is a complex sentence and another is a simple sentence. You guys can see. Try to understand what I am trying to say. Okay. Try to understand what I'm going to say over here. Now let's see. Come on. A simple sentence, a compound sentence, and a complete sentence. Now let's see. A simple sentence is a simple sentence which have a complete idea. Okay, one complete idea is known as a simple sentence. Now another, what is a compound sentence over here? It is a logical combination. What is this? It is a combination of two complete sentences. Okay, two complete thoughts or two independent clauses or sentences to form a one single sentence. Now it is how it is used. It is usually linked by a coordinating conjunction. Okay, what is coordinating conjunction? We will understand it as well. Or a semicolon. But subordinating conjunctions used in a complex sentence can be used as coordinators as well as to form a compound sentence as it were. Now let's understand what is complex sentences as well. Complex sentences include a dependent clause linked to an independent clause. Guys, what I showed you earlier in this section, you can see that one was dependent, which was they. Okay, this subject made us think about what are they over here and understanding. And after we think that, yes, this is a dependent sentence, then we always look at the first passage, first sentences. Then what it is? Then it is a class students from 10th grade. Then only this sentences was complete. Now, how we can connect these two sentences? Let's figure it out. Come on. Now let's see. We can add it by using by a coordinating conjunction or a semicolon. Now we will understand it later, but just don't forget dependent clause and independent clause. A compound sentence is a combination of two independent clauses, and a complex sentence is a combination of one dependent clauses with another independent clause. Okay, to form a complete sentences. Now let's see. Okay, also make notes for these as well, guys. Pause the video and I will explain it later. Okay, I will explain these things in later. Come on, pause the video and note it down. Now let's see. Sentence expansion. Now, what if you want to combine two or more complete thoughts or sentences to create a compound sentence or complete sentence? Joining related ideas allows writer to avoid choppiness caused from overuse of shorter blunt sentences. There is more than one way or two sentences. However, to complete sentences, independent clauses may only be joined by a conjunction or some type of a semicolon. Okay, and whereas dependent clauses connected to independent clauses use subordinating conjunctions. Okay, you might think it, don't take this as a heavy word. We will understand this as well. Let's see. Now, what is sentence coordination first? Two or more complete ideas or thoughts are combined that could each stand alone as independent clause or simple sentences, each containing subject plus predicate. Both sentences must have a similar subject and a predicate as well. Okay, one of the seven coordinating conjunctions. You guys can see we were confused, so much confused over here. Is what was coordinating conjunction? Okay, what was coordinating conjunction or a semicolon? And it is used to form a compound sentences. Okay, now we will see. Come on. You guys can see we can use What are the so it is a fan voice. What is the full form? Fan refers to for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Note it down in your copy, guys. Note it down that about fan voice as well. Come on, let's have a look. Another thing. Now, sentence coordination examples. Let us have a look. Let us have a look at a sentence coordination examples, guys. Now, Rene missed Alaska. Rene missed Alaska. It is a one sentence. And what is over here? For he longed for its beauty and tranquility. Now you can see, okay, I will show you. You guys can see that how this sentences is formed. I will try to elaborate first. Okay. I have highlighted these things to make it easier for you, okay? I will highlight this first. Another one, Xavier prepared a great Italian dinner. And what is another sentence? Another sentence is, he served he served expensive Italian red wine. You can also see, guys. Now, another one. Was she ready for a real commitment of any time? Now, let's see. We have used and over here. We have used nor over here. We have used but over here. First, try to see. Okay, I will explain. Don't worry, guys. I will make it so simple to you that you will never forget what are these things. I will make so much easy for you. Don't worry. Okay, guys. Now let's see. What were the sentences? Now let's first identify the sentences only. Then only we will identify. We'll only learn about how these sentences were formed. At first, let's see what were the sentences. Rachel was not ready for marriage. Another one, you may not have French fries. Another one, Helen may visit her grandmother for Thanksgiving. Another one, Kate worried about the wounded bird. What was another one? We will be in Sweden for 3 weeks. Now let's see for another one. Okay, you can see for longed for its beauty. He longed for its beauty and tranquility. He served expensive Italian red wine. And another, was she ready for real commitment of any time? And you may have salad. Okay, she might wait until winter break. He didn't want to be responsible for it. We will have plenty of time. Shook up culture. Now let's try to identify, let's try to understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, at first, what I said earlier was a complex sentences is a combination of one dependent sentence and another independent sentence, and combination of two these things makes us a complex sentences. To be a compound sentences, there need to be two full independent clauses. Combining two independent clauses makes compound sentences, and to be a complex sentences, one need to have independent sentences and another sentence should be a dependent sentences which is dependent to first independent sentence. And we are looking example, we are looking about complex sentences. This one is a complex sentences. Now let's try to identify. I try to identify about which is a independent and which is a dependent. Rene missed Alaska. This is an independent sentence. This is independent. Now he longed for its beauty. What is its over here? And this and what he longed. Who is he over here? He is Rene. It is connected to one Rene. and its beauty. What is its? It's Alaska. So it is dependent sentences. You can see that its dependency on first sentences. And how we combine this? Just using a fanboys. Okay, we used fanboys strategy to make it as a complex sentences. Not only fan, we used comma and for. You can see other examples, comma and, right? Comma nor, comma but. Okay, let's try to identify again. Okay, come on. JBR prepared a great Indian dinner. Let's see, guys. It is not dependent to any other things, guys. Right? Can you guys see? It is giving a complete thought, complete meanings. So it is a dependent clause. Sorry, it's a independent clause. Now let's see. He served, come on, he served expensive Italian red wine. Who is he over here? He is dependent to Xavier, guys. Come on, let's see. And in this sentence, it is dependent to, he is dependent to Xavier. So this is an dependent sentence, and this one is a independent sentence. Now another one. Rachel was not ready for marriage. Okay, it's a complete sentence. Okay, Rachel, proper noun, and she was not ready for marriage. It's okay, it's a complete thought, so it is independent sentence. Now what is this? Let's have a look at second one. What she, who is she? Okay, ready for a real commitment of any type. Now who is she? She is a Rachel. Very good, well done, guys. And this is the dependent sentences. Yes, this is dependent because she is dependent to first line. Okay, now another. You may not have French fries. You may have salad. Okay, you may not have French fries, but you may have salad. Okay, you may have salad. Both are dependent over here, guys. Sorry, both are independent over here. So don't worry. These both are independent. Let's see. You may have salad. You may not have French fries, but you may have salad. Okay. Now another one. Helen may visit her grandmother for Thanksgiving, and or she might wait until winter break. And who is she over here? She is referring to Helen over here. You guys can see, right? Don't confuse over here. This is you. You means to anybody who is reading these things. Okay, the reader. You is the reader over here. So these are independent. Don't worry. Now, she might wait until winter break. Now, what is, let's have a look. She is dependent to first sentence, which is Helen. So this is independent because it is not dependent to any other things. Helen may visit her. Who is her? Her grandmother is Helen's grandmother. So it is not dependent. It is independent. Come on. Another one. Okay, wait. I have made it very rough over here, guys. Just try to understand, okay? Okay. Now let's see. Kate worried about the wounded bird, yet who is here? Yes, it is already dependent. Let's see. He is Kate. It is independent, and this one backs one sentence is dependent sentence, guys. Now let's see. We will be in Sweden for 3 weeks, so we will have plenty of time to soak up in the culture. We will, who is we will, and we will, and this is a dependent sentence. Okay, this is a dependent, and this is also a dependent sentence, and combining these two things is comma. So fanboys, because we is not defined over here. Who is we? It's okay, guys. Now try to understand. Okay, this is how a complex sentences can be formed. Okay, complex sentences is formed, but guys, okay, no worry. Now let us have a look at sentence subordination. What are these things? It is two or more ideas or thoughts that are combined that could not stand alone as independent sentences. Okay, if two independent sentences, two dependent sentences are combined by a subordinating, we can make another complex sentences as well. Now let's see what happens. You can see subject, noun, verb, and object, a complete sentence. Subject, verb, and object is a complete sentence. Now you can see below is a list of words commonly used to set up a dependent clause combined with an independent sentence to form a complex sentence. One need to be independent, another need to be a dependent sentences. And you can see after, as long as, even, if only, rather, that, until, whereas, whereas, although, as though, even if, in order, since, though, when, wherever, as, because, even though, now that, so that, till, whenever, while. If we use these things, then what happens? We can connect one independent sentence with another sentence as well. Okay. 10 minutes ago, we studied about how to use fanboys to make a complex sentences. Now we can see how we can use a subordinating conjunctions to make a, okay, there are still remaining left. They are, come on, as if, before, if, once, then, unless, and where. We can also add this, and these are the subordinating conjunctions. Now let's see sentence subordination examples. Now let's have an example so that it can be used in a study next year. The specimen will be frozen now. As long as Mr. Wee goes to China, I will volunteer to go as less. Now that the quarter is over, I can take a break from school. Once you finished your soulmate, never take them for granted. Whenever we visit Orlando, Florida, my family always enjoys Disney World the most. Now let's see. While it might seem like a case study about corporate leadership, it is really a case study about teamwork. Now another one. Now that the oven is hot, Jack can bake chicken parmesan. Now you can, don't complicate this word. You can only think chicken as well only. Okay. Okay, come on. Now changing complex sentences. How we can change complex sentences to compound sentences? Let's see. It mostly involves flipping complex sentences around. The following examples combine two equal sentences. Let's see. But instead of using coordinating conjunctions with a comma to join two independent clauses, a subordinating conjunction is used to combine them instead in each example. When a subordinating conjunction is used in this manner, there is no subordinate clause. Okay. When they are used in this manner, there is no any subordinate clauses. Just like with coordinating conjunctions, then each sentence could stand alone as an independent clause. Okay. Just like with coordinating conjunctions, each sentences could stand alone as an independent clause. A comma is not needed when subordinating conjunctions are used to join independent clauses. Okay, comma is not necessary. At first, we see that if there is one independent and another dependent, then we need to use comma and what is saying here. And if there are two independent clauses, then we don't need a comma. Comma is not needed. Okay, for subordinating conjunctions. And we have looked at examples such as so that, as long as, now that, once, for, whenever. You can also look subordinating conjunction examples, guys. note it down in your copy, so it would be so much easier for you to understand part 3, our next videos as well. Okay, we are running a grammar online master classes to each and every students. Come on, now let's see. Okay, now now let's see, we don't have comma over here. Do we have over here comma, guys? No. When we were in the fan voice session, there were we have used comma. Do you know? Yes, let's look. Comma and comma nor, comma but, comma or, comma yet, comma so. Now what happens over here? We don't need any comma over here to make it a complex sentences. Do you understand, guys? Do you understand, guys? But these are compound sentences. Okay, these are compound sentences, and we don't need comma over here to make it as a compound sentences. Now let's see. This is a compound sentence. Okay, don't try to. Another one. The specimen will be frozen. Now you can see. Have a look at example over here, guys. Take a pause. Note it down in your copy, and those my students from my academy. Okay, I want you guys to show me these things in your note copy as well, and others who are studying from online, who are gaining knowledge from online sessions only, I suggest them to not forget each and everything, and also make a separate copy for yourselves. Okay, if you want to join, you can join. Come to Putalisadak and contact me. My number 9860477537. I repeat, 9860477537. Now today time is going to off, and I will resume from this section tomorrow only in the next video. Okay, my contact number, you can note it down: 9860477537. You guys can come to Putalisadak. Okay, Putalisadak, exactly opposite to Chiya Adda, and you can call me. Okay, if you want to join our classes. Now come on, this is my number, and the time is running out. So see you guys in the next video. So until that time, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you again. Have a great day.